So, we've all seen the headlines about the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo. When I first saw the story, I paused for a second because I thought, wait, Ebola again? Ebola feels like one of those diseases we only hear about every few years, and all of a sudden, it's everywhere in the news again. Now let's watch this video before we continue.
In the Democratic Republic of Congo, transmission rates of the Ebola virus continue to outpace the response efforts in what's now the fastest spreading outbreak ever recorded.
Now, after watching this news, I don't think the first reaction should be panic. I actually think it should be curiosity. Like, what's happening again? Ebola again? Why is this outbreak getting so much attention? And why are health workers all around the world taking these things seriously?
Places where you have one community death in a new area, and in a few days you have 17 new cases. It's such a great example of how infectious anyone is that stays in the community as soon as they have symptoms. So if we don't have proper surveillance in place, if we're not able to monitor this, the outbreak will continue.
Well, and one thing I've noticed is when people hear Ebola, when they hear of Ebola, the first thought that comes to mind is people dying everywhere, everyone dying everywhere, deaths. And I mean, I don't blame them. I honestly do not blame people, because Ebola has a very frightening reputation. If you can all remember, Ebola has a very, very, very frightening reputation. I remember the last outbreak we had. There was so much fear and tension in everybody, both in young and old, in schools, everywhere. The slightest sneeze of someone around you, slightest cough, sometimes you just see yourself beginning to run temperature. People were even scared of allowing another person's body touch theirs in public buses, in taxis. It was so terrifying. It was so terrifying, so frightening. And now this is the reality that Democratic Republic of Congo is facing once again. The RC has dealt with Ebola several times. In fact, the country has some of the world's most experienced Ebola response team, because they've unfortunately had to fight this virus over and over and over again. So now, when this last outbreak started, health officials began to move quickly. But here is where things became really worrying. Now, this is not just happening in one quiet community where it is easy to trace everyone who is being infected. The outbreak is spreading in areas that are already dealing with conflicts, insecurity, and people moving from one place to another. This is going to make it so hard to contain this virus, because it is making it difficult for health workers to reach people.
Now, imagine a community that's cut off by floods, or a family that's displaced by conflict and they are cut off from basic services like food, like water, like shelter. Imagine the case in Congo, for example, where a village is cut off by the Ebola virus disease. Now, in many of such cases, the humanitarian community wants to help. The real challenge is getting there. Now, UNAS provides that reliable, safe, effective air transport that connects aid workers to those who really, really need their assistance. UNAS has been playing a key role in keeping that response alive. You know that UNAS has dedicated aircraft based in Bunia, making sure that aid workers, medical doctors and response teams can get to the front line very, very frequently. We are there moving samples for lab testing to ensure that traceability can continue in support of the response.
And I mean, I started asking myself another question. Imagine trying to stop a dangerous disease while hospitals are struggling with supplies. Some communities don't even trust health workers, and violence makes it dangerous for medical teams to travel. Like I said, in a community where there is insecurity, it's going to make it difficult for health workers want to actually travel down to that particular community that is insecurity to try and contain or to try and reach everyone that this virus has spread to try and contain this outbreak. So it is not just a health problem anymore. It is now a humanitarian challenge. Some people still don't even trust health workers, and some people are afraid that when they take them to treatment center, they won't come back. They will never ever come back, so they don't want to go. Now, whether those fears are based on facts or rumors, they're making it harder to control this outbreak. This current outbreak is caused by the Bundibugyo strain of Ebola. Yeah, the Bundibugyo. Now, most of us don't even know that Ebola has different types. We just hear Ebola, we just know it's a deadly disease. But this Bundibugyo, what makes it more deadly? I should say what makes it more deadly is it doesn't have any approved vaccine whatsoever. There is no approved vaccine specifically made for the Bundibugyo strain. Although researchers are testing, they're testing potential treatments. But what health workers are relying on now is, having to detect it early, supportive medical care, trying to prevent further transmission. When I first heard this, I understood why, international health organizations are paying such close attention to this current outbreak. Now, let's talk about something that doesn't get enough attention. We've been talking about this Ebola, but there are people actually risking their lives. There are the doctors, there are the nurses, the laboratory workers, the ambulance drivers. Every day, imagine walking into treatment centers every day, knowing they are dealing with one of the deadliest viruses in the world. Just imagine. Some health workers have actually lost their lives during this outbreak. I think these health workers don't get enough credit. It's not easy. It is actually really, really terrifying for them. Because, like I said, just imagine every single day of your life, you're walking into treatment centers. And you have it in mind that whatever I'm facing is a very deadly disease. It's a very, very deadly disease. One of the deadliest virus in the world. So these people don't get enough credit. Most of us only remember healthcare workers during emergencies, but without them, without the health workers, this outbreak would have become much worse. One thing that really stood out to me is how this disease don't care about borders. Now, we all know that this outbreak started in DRC, in the Democratic Republic of Congo. But there are cases linked to it that have also been detected outside the country. Although neighboring countries have, strengthened their surveillance and response efforts. And this is why outbreaks like this become international news. It is not because they want to create fear in people. No, it's not because they want to raise tension in people. They want people to start getting scared. It is actually because they want to stop this outbreak early to protect everyone. And now there's also one thing I want to say. There's something important I really want to say. You see, when stories like this start trending online, misinformation spread almost as fast as the virus itself. You see people will even be claiming that the outbreak is fake, Ebola is not real. Others will even exaggerate it. They will go overboard to make it sound like the whole continent is infected. I said it earlier that when this outbreak happened in Nigeria back then, there were so many rumors. That even raised more fear, that killed people faster than the virus did. So the best thing we can actually do, none of this reaction, this exaggerating, misinformation, none of it will actually help. But the best thing we can actually do is rely on verified information. And let's avoid sharing rumors. Now, at the time I was watching this news, the outbreak is still ongoing. The number of confirmed cases has continued to rise. Every day by day, the numbers of people being infected increases. Even health authorities say thousands of infections have now been confirmed, making it one of the largest Ebola outbreaks ever recorded. This is one of the largest Ebola outbreaks that has ever been recorded. Now that sounds frightening, no? It's actually really scary. It is actually frightening. The numbers tell us that this outbreak is serious. Like I said, it is caused by the Bundibugyo strain that has no vaccine. So there is no vaccine to help. Although they don't tell us that it is hopeless, no. Health workers are still treating patients. People are recovering. Communities are actually still working together. And every person who follows public health advice helps to reduce the spread. Yes. Now for me, this story isn't just about Ebola. It's about how prepared countries are when emergency happens. It's about whether hospitals have enough resources.
The situation is not good. Yesterday when I was making the presentation, it was 966 confirmed cases, confirmed deaths. Today we reached 1,031. These are people dying. They are dying because we don't have vaccine, we don't have medicine, we don't have funding. If we don't stop this outbreak today, it will be the worst one that the world will be documenting.
It's about whether people trust healthcare workers. It's about whether the world pays attention before a crisis becomes bigger. Because sometimes Africa doesn't even make international headlines except when something terrible happens. Yes. I also think that we should recognize the courage of the doctors. The nurses, the scientists, the volunteers who continue to work under incredibly difficult conditions. We should recognize their courage. They deserve more accolades. It is not easy. It is not easy. And I really hope this outbreak is brought under control as quickly as possible. Because behind every statistic is a real person. Yes. When you hear every statistics, every number is someone's mother, someone's father, someone's child, someone's friend, someone's husband, someone's wife. We that we are reading the numbers on screen, it is easy for us to read the number on screen, yes, because we are just seeing it. But think about the people. Imagine the families that are actually living through them. Just imagine. I would really like to know what we think. Imagine the families. Imagine how hard it is for the families that are living through them. I would really like to hear what we think about it. Do we believe the world only pays attention to Africa health crises when they become international threats? Or do we think that enough is already being done? Let's have a respectful conversation in the comments. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with even someone else. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.